Okay, so today's topic of discussion is future indefinite. Now, future is one of the three major tenses of English language, and like present and past, it has four major categories, out of which we will be discussing the first category, that is indefinite. Now, future indefinite always uses first form of verb. That means we will be using the present, the simple infinitive form of verb. Secondly, the helping verbs that we will be using are will and shall. Now, majority of the times or in the common practice, we will always use we will always use shall with first person. That means I and we. And we will always use will with second, third person or any name. That means you, he, she, it, they, or it could be any name. Name like Ali, name like Aslam, name like Farhan, name like Rana. So if there is any name there, or if you see any of these persons, you will be using will. And if you see I and we, you will be using shall. Now, basically what we need to discuss is its recognition in Urdu, because we will be translating from Urdu to English. So we should know the recognition in Urdu. So a future indefinite sentence in Urdu will always end with either ga, gi, or ge, or gain if it is in the form of plural, or if you are giving somebody some respect. Now, before I move on with the translation of this part, firstly you must know about the sentence construction in English. So in English we will always start with the subject, then we will have will or shall usage depending on the person, depending on the subject, then we will be having the first form of verb, and then we will have the object. For example, I shall play cricket. Now I is first person, and as we know, with first person we use shall. So I shall play, first form of verb, cricket is your object. Then he is third person singular. Then we have will, that means will is used with second and third person or any name, first form of verb, and then this is your object. Now that we have discussed the sentence construction of future indefinite, we will move on to the translation part. Now there is this sentence, मैं स्कूल जाऊंगा. मैं मतलब I. School is your object. जाऊंगा is your verb, and ga represent the usage of will or shall. Now मैं first person, we know that with first person we will be using shall, so I shall. Then we have the verb go, and then we have the object school. I shall go to school. Then वो अपना काम करेगी. Now वो is third person. She will, because it is third person singular, so we will be using will with it. काम, work, करे is your verb. Gi, representation of shall or will. So she will do her work. Talking of this, last thing that is there, usage of negative and interrogatives. So if it has been मैं स्कूल नहीं जाऊंगा, I shall not go to school. क्या मैं स्कूल जाऊंगा? Shall I go to school? वो अपना काम करेगी. वो अपना काम नहीं करेगी. She will not do her work. क्या वो अपना काम करेगी? Will she do her work? So this is simple forms, assertive sentences. I have discussed the negative parts also, and I have discussed the interrogative parts also. So the thing that you need to keep in mind from the translation point of view is the ending part. How is it ending? And the usage of persons. If there is first person, usage of shall. if there is third person, second person, or any name, usage of will. Sentence construction in English is subject, will, shall, first form of verb plus object. However, in Urdu, the sentence construction is subject, object, verb, helping verb. So, this is what you need to keep in mind. Accordingly, you will translate the sentences.